but we do have a couple of news stories. First thing I want to bring up is I did get there has been a bit of an update because last Friday, the time of this stream, I talked about the Linkin Park return and the controversy surrounding their new lead singer, Emily Armstrong. We did get an update from that about a day later. Emily went to Instagram to post on her story, basically saying that she no longer associates with Danny Masterson after the guilty verdict came out. So she no longer associates with him. She didn't name him in the Instagram post. It was kind of like, it was definitely a sort of PR recommended response, is like the proper way to say it. Which, given what I stated last week regarding, you know, how dangerous the Scientology stuff can be, trying to speak about it openly, and especially talking negatively about it, there can be negative repercussions, and I think she's trying to avoid not just her, but also the band of Linkin Park, which I think is the reason why they still haven't put out a statement on that whole entire thing. Because yeah, no, people are happy that obviously she no longer associates with that piece of shit. But obviously, you know, people are wondering, like, is she still associated with the church, or is she not? Again, as I stated last Friday, we still don't know 100% of what's going on. If anything, I am almost, again, 100% willing to bet that Mike and the others in Linkin Park know. They obviously know more than we do. So I think right now they're just trying to see what the best course of action is. Because, so it is September 10th. Linkin Park is set to have their first, like, big show back to kick off the From Zero World Tour. Tomorrow on the 11th, they're supposed to have their first big show at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, I believe. And so far it seems like the tickets for the return shows are selling like hotcakes. Because I believe after the Kia show, after the Kia Forum show, they're going to be playing at the Barclays Center in New York. And both of those concerts are basically almost sold out. So, despite the negative reception that Emily's getting, I think people are just excited. Like, this is because I know that there are people out there in the community that are just straight up ignoring the controversy altogether, and they're just trying to be happy with the fact that Linkin Park is back. But I know obviously it can be hard to have that mindset, especially when for a controversy as big as this one is kind of being shoved into all of our throats. So yeah, again, my statement still stands. We still don't know if she's part of the church or not, and at this point, and I say this on Twitter, it's not really any of our goddamn business to know if she still practices it or not. Because, and you know, again, being a little bit touchy here, if she were to come out and announce that she no longer supports the Church of Scientology and instead practices something else, practices like a different religion, or just flat out says that she's an atheist, I'm almost willing to, because the internet is the internet and people are fickle motherfuckers. I wouldn't be surprised if, regardless if she came out and said that she no longer supports it and said supports something else, she'd probably be getting the same amount of hate as she's getting right now. I'm almost willing to bet that's kind of my hot take on that. But, you know, again, not really my place to say. I think just the fact that she no longer supports the piece of shit that Masterson is. I mean, from what I'm getting, a lot of people are okay with just that response alone. And I'm kind of okay with that too. And whether or not they decide to put out a statement, we're gonna have to wait and see. Who knows? But it does suck seeing that 7 years of waiting, they're now back, and already they're in the biggest PR clusterfuck I have ever seen. For any band. Okay, well, there's also the Lost Prophets stuff from about 10 years ago, but I'm not going to delve into that. You can look it up yourself if you're curious. Because if you want to talk about a PR clusterfuck, there's a PR clusterfuck for you. But anyway, that's basically it in terms of like updates on the Linkin Park news. So yeah. The other thing we gotta talk about today, we did, unfortunately, and probably the last thing to talk about for tonight, because I don't really have a whole lot of other news, at least I can't really think of off the top of my head, but we do gotta pay our respects because we have lost a very great actor today in the form of James Earl Jones. Famous actor known for his voiceover roles in iconic for iconic characters such as Mufasa from The Lion King, and also probably bigger than that, he was also the voice of Darth Vader of Star Wars. Very unfortunately passed away at the age of 93. So heart goes out to James's family and friends. We lost a real one this year, ladies and gentlemen, and it is sad to see such an iconic person and an iconic and respected and loved individual in the movie and film industry lose their life. So it is unfortunate. Rest in peace to James Earl Jones. But that is unfortunately all I really got in terms of like the news. At least again, this is like I'm mainly speaking on stuff that I have personally seen. I try to go off of what other people are talking about, but a lot of it's just because it's really not coming to my head, so I can't really speak my piece on it. I just kind of speak whatever I think would be good talking point for entertainment news and news surrounding, like, you know, movies, music, and games. I try not to touch on heavier topics, unless, you know, obviously just got talking about Linkin Park stuff. But yeah, it's basically about it. You know what? Actually, though, I kind of lied. There is something I can talk about today that I couldn't talk about yesterday because I pushed Destiny 2 stream back tonight. We gotta talk about Sony because they just unveiled the PS5 Pro, and people already fucking hate it, and with reasonability too, because the PS5 Pro, ladies and gentlemen, is $700 fucking dollars. I can't even begin to understand why Sony thought this was a good idea, because people already didn't like the fact that the PS5 itself was $500, and now you're pushing this Pro version without really giving any incentive to really buy it. I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit of what Mudahar said when he was talking about it. If they had waited for GTA 6's release, that probably would have given everybody more incentive to buy a PS5 Pro. because like now I don't really have I don't have an incentive to buy a PS5 Pro. Why would I buy it? I already have one. I already have a PS5. And even then, I'm playing, like, the only game I'm playing right now on it is Black Myth Wukong. Now, granted, for something like Black Myth Wukong, I don't know why I'm even saying the full game name. For something like Wukong, I'm playing that on performance mode, and it's making the PS5 struggle just a tiny bit. So I can see, like, okay, of course I would probably want to get a Pro, because I want to play Wukong at the most, like, highest level possible in terms of, like, how great you can look on top of getting the best amount of FPS out of it, which is completely fine, completely understandable. Here's the issue with that, right? Because, and another reason why you could just really just get a PC at this point. It is just better to get a PC. And now, I get the argument with getting consoles, because, like, most, if not all, game companies nowadays have to make their games work on modern consoles. So, at the very least, you're being 100% certain that this game will run on the console. Unless you're a PS4 player waiting for Cyberpunk 2077. That was my first experience with that game, was the PS4. Oh boy. That was an experience. But disregarding that situation, I get the incentive on wanting to buy strictly a console, because you don't have to worry about, like, compatibility of PC parts and all that. Which, generally speaking, it's not that hard to find a guide of, like, the most top-notch PC at a very, like, good price to get, because, like, again, you don't have to look very far for that, because you can just get guides for certain PC builds, get price ranges on, and then you don't have to buy everything outright. You could just buy it piece by piece, which is what I ended up doing with my current PC. Like, every paycheck, it was like, okay, I could get this part, and now I could get this part, now I could get this part. And so on and so forth. It's like, especially now, because I just bought a new graphics card, which is supposed to arrive on Friday, so, because mainly, you know, there are games coming out now that I would like to stream. I would have loved to stream Helldivers 2, but holy shit, that game is kind of, it's very intense. And especially now that I have Space Marine 2 out, I would love to stream Space Marine 2. And in case everyone's curious, I'm upgrading from my 5500 XT to a 7600 XT, which might be a tad bit overkill, but it's like, it was also $400. Like, you are better off, especially if you're, like, strictly PC gamer but also plays on consoles. You are better off just getting an upgrade to your PC, especially nowadays, since GPU prices are much better than what they used to be. Like, even though the MSRP on my 5500 was like $400, I ended up buying it. I think I even talked about this during the Mountain Blade stream. My 5500, despite it being $400 MSRP, cost me $700. I bought my current fucking graphics card at the same price that the PS5 Pro is gonna be. Which is fucking ridiculous. Which, oh my god. So, we all know the scalping was bad when the PS5 launched. It's gonna get worse with the PS5 Pro. Like, because people are already not happy with the $700 price tag. Imagine, like, scalpers are gonna be losing so much fucking money, because, like, no one's gonna buy 700, like, again, you know who is gonna buy these consoles at $700? Scalpers. And they're gonna raise the prices up to fucking crazy, stupid ass amounts. And in the end of the day, unless someone's really stupid to buy from a scalper, scalpers are just gonna be losing money. And I'm gonna be personally happy about that, because fuck you if you're a scalper, personally. It's just... Oh, and also, did I forget to mention that the Pro isn't even coming with a damn disk drive? You have to buy it separately. You have to buy the PS5 Pro disc drive separately, which I can't remember. How much are they charging for that expansion? Hold on. PS5 Pro disc drive price. How much are we looking for here? The disc drive, they're charging 80 bucks. 80 fucking dollars for the, and a $30 vertical stand. What? Okay, so I heard about the disc drive. I didn't know that they were gonna charge a $30 fucking price tag on a the thing that the base PS5 comes with. The regular ass PS5 comes with a vertical stand. The Pro not only doesn't come with that, but you're also gonna have to pay 30 bucks for a piece of fucking plastic. Holy shit, Sony. So $700, so that's already close. You're already over 800 bucks. Already at, like, okay, hold on, if I do the math correctly, so 30, 810 bucks, not including tax, which is probably gonna tack on an extra like 10 or 20 bucks from it, so we're gonna say a closer around 850 bucks USD. Now, say you want to get a game for it. I don't know, you're probably gonna be getting it fucking digitally anyway, because unless you want to get the disc drive outright. So if you're buying the whole package with a game to come with it, unless you really want to play Astro's Playroom, and unless you don't already have games for the system, I should add, and nothing from a PS4 that can be backwards compatible with the PS5, you are paying damn near 900 fucking bucks for this, for the PS5 Pro. This, I don't see how Sony thinks this is a viable marketing strategy. Piecemealing features that should already be, like, it doesn't help the fact that companies like Microsoft and even Sony, they're trying to push away physical media. Now, granted, I haven't bought a physical game myself in a very long ass time. Mostly due to the fact that, one, my PS5 is digital. I only have the digital version of it. And I haven't really bought anything new for my PS4 in a while. Like, I don't even know the last game I actually bought physical. I think it may have been Sekiro. I think Sekiro was the last physical game I bought for my PS4. Oh, and not to mention, you know, Sony coming out like a week ago, being like, we don't have any new original IPs. We don't have any original IPs. It's like, okay, did you guys forget that you have games or game series that you just have flat out ignored? Like, you have shit like Twisted Metal. You got Twisted Metal, which I'm amazed they haven't even thought about doing another Twisted Metal game to coincide with the TV show, which I've heard is pretty alright. I haven't actually watched it myself. But you got shit like Twisted Metal, You have SOCOM, which hasn't seen a game since SOCOM 4 on the fucking PS3 from like 10 years ago. A little over 10 years ago. Like, now would be the good time to bring back SOCOM, especially now, since we're getting these, like, operator-based, like, military shooters. Like, why not bring back SOCOM? Or better yet, like, why not revive the servers for SOCOM Confrontation and give it a PC release? For God's sake. I know that's like, oh, now we don't have a SOCOM game strictly for PS5. I was like, whatever. Every game is basically going to PC nowadays. Like, they're releasing Final Fantasy 16 in, like, 5 days at the time of this stream. Like... Oh, and also, you know, Jak and Daxter, which, by the way, we're gonna get to Daxter and Jak and Daxter Lost Frontier soon. I'm still waiting on a chance to put in a commission for something that I haven't been able to put in the commission yet, and now I gotta wait longer for that to be open. So, birthday stream actually, I may have actually something planned for a birthday stream. Now that I think about it. Be on the lookout. But yeah, no. Sony just lately hasn't been hitting the mark with a lot of their stuff lately and all their statements. It kind of has me worried a little bit. Because again, they have IPs that they can revive, but they just choose not to. I don't know if it's out of, like, fear that they'll lose money or what, but it's like, each game has a massive fan base. Like, Jak and Daxter, you don't know how many times Naughty Dog... You want to know how many times Naughty Dog has put out a thing on, like, their Twitter? Or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is Jak's anniversary. And how many people in the comments are like, please give us a re-release or a remake. Like, people want Jak and Daxter brought back to life. They want that game series back. People want SOCOM back. People want fucking, like, could you imagine a Twisted Metal? Especially, you know what? Like, fuck it. People want to do these stupid ass live service games. I can see a lot of, like, you feel free to crucify me for this, but I can see a lot of potential of them doing like a Twisted Metal live service type game with the amount of like wacky ass cosmetics you could probably do with that. I know, I'm speaking heresy right now, but bear with me. Like, I can see them doing stuff with a modern day Twisted Metal. But, oh yeah, also Sly Cooper. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but Sly Cooper's a game series that people would love to see brought back. Not to mention, you know, the failed movie. I still remember the trailer. But, yeah, no. Point is, Sony's kind of getting misses, and I wish they didn't. But yeah, that's the end of this news segment. So there's some news. There's some news for tonight. Really, the only thing I was that really came across my feed today was the fact that Flappy Bird is coming back, which was a huge shocker. Which for those of you who don't know, Flappy Bird, it was a mega popular app back in like almost 10 years ago. Actually, it was back in 2016 when it popped off. It was this major app. Everybody was playing it. Every fucking person in your mother had Flappy Bird installed on their phones. And even that, because this was also back when, you know, GTA 5 was at like the height of its popularity. There was like this hoax going around, because, you know, when GTA 5 came out, there was a lot of like hoax videos on like, oh, with the aliens on top of, which, by the way, that is an actual thing, the UFO that appears on top of Mount Chiliad. That is a thing. But then you had like, oh, this mysterious serial killer. Then you had the cannibal colony off to the side. you had all this stuff, and one of these hoaxes was the ability to play Flappy Bird on your in-game phone, which I don't know why. I don't know why you would want to do that. It just seems like too much work. Just download it. I mean, if you don't have a phone, then maybe. But like, I don't really see the point in it. But like, that's how big that was. When you're big enough to have a hoax made in one of the biggest video games to come out of the last 2 console generations, you kind of made it big. And then all of a sudden, the creator just took it off. The creator took it off the App Store and everything. I can't remember what their exact reasoning was. I wonder if I could find the direct quote from it. Hold on. Don't quote. Oh, actually, it is 10 years old. It came out in 2014. Jesus Christ. Well, 2013 iOS, 2014 on Android. Yeah, no, hold on. Discontinuation. Oh, okay, so the reason why the creator took it down was because he was afraid of people getting, like, you know, addicted to it, basically. Because it was a really addicting game. And so I think he took it down due to, like, he felt like he was possibly hurting the health of the youth. Yeah. And I already discussed the PS5 stuff last night, and I even mentioned that the scalping was going to get worse with the PS5 Pro. And I think the fact that we're getting, you know, scalpers with you know, the PS5 disc drives, not the ones for the Pro, but I would imagine a regular it would be so fucking hilarious if they made the PS5, if they made it to where the base PS5 disc drives couldn't work on the PS5 Pro. That would be so fucking hilarious. I don't think it's a thing. I don't think that's a thing though, because it doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, no, not surprised to see that scalpers are scalping disc drives for PS5s in, you know, in an announcement to the PS5 Pro, which is still fucking stupid. Again, I already talked about it last night. So there's no point in beating a dead horse. And yeah, I did see this earlier today. There were layoffs over in Activision Blizzard. More shitty companies doing shitty things. I mean, it sucks, but we do just kind of have to start, like, we're gonna see more layoff news stories in the future, and that's something I don't like seeing. But unfortunately, companies prioritize one thing above everything else, and that is money. And yeah, ain't capitalism great, everyone? Is the best thing in the world. But anyway, that's basically it for what I got in terms of. Oh, you know what? Actually, never mind. I do got one more thing to add. So Rings of Power Season 2, not doing so well, as to be expected. And I cannot believe that they actually said this. Because I guess, I talked about it a couple weeks ago, how there was backlash over the family of orcs. Like, there was an orc husband, an orc wife, and an orc baby. And they were like, oh, we don't want to go to war, sir. And, you know, very stupid shit that completely goes against the lore of Middle-earth and Tolkien in general. And one of the writers decided to come out and respond to that backlash by saying that we believe that it goes straight back to Tolkien. And also, it's topical because we're playing Lord of the Rings tonight. And also, what? Excuse me, Amazon? You believe that the orc family goes right back to Tolkien? No, the fuck it doesn't. All of this is showing is that you guys are fucking ignorant. Y'all are being ignorant as fuck over the source material and Tolkien's legacy. That's all that is. And the fucker ain't even alive to defend his work. And I'm so over these fucking companies doing these adaptations and being like, we don't need to read or play the source material. We're gonna do our own thing because we believe that we can do it better. Look what happened to the Witcher series. It was good at starting out, and then, you know, Henry Cavill was like, bruh, you guys aren't paying attention to the fucking origin, and that's why he fucking dipped. That's why Henry Cavill dipped from The Witcher. And yeah, I was about to bring this up, Straw Hat. I don't know, I can't remember who the hell's making it, but there's a company out there that's going to do an adaptation, TV adaptation of the Yakuza games. And they straight up said that they're not going to play the games because they want to do their own interpretation of it. Like, Jesus, are we regressing back to the late 90s, early 2000s where like adaptations of games are just going to be bad with only like a gem, like a diamond in the rough here and there? Like, because like right now, the only thing that's still like good when it comes to like game adaptations is the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Like, if you want a good like a really good adaptation of the games, while it's also kind of, you know, taking liberties and all that, watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Not only that, you have what else is there? So you have Sonic the Hedgehog, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. That's its own story, but it does take place in the world of Cyberpunk, and it, you know, still goes with the lore and everything that Cyberpunk establishes. You have that. What the fuck else is there? I know there's more. I know there's more. I don't know why none of them are coming to me, though. Fallout. Okay, I almost forgot. Fallout's another one. I still have yet to watch Fallout, so don't spoil anything for me, please. But, you know, I've heard good things about Fallout. That's, again, really good adaptation of the game. And apparently, because we just talked about Henry Cavill, because Henry Cavill's spoken in the past about how he wants to do a Warhammer 40k TV show, which I'd be 100% down for. And I think he has to do it. I think he's trying to do it with Netflix. I'm not sure, but I read something either today or yesterday about how he's like currently clashing with Netflix writers over the 40k TV show. Because, you know, just like what happened with The Witcher, they apparently don't want to worry about the source material about 40k, which they're underestimating 40k fans. If they fuck with 40k lore, as in they don't read any, which, I mean, granted, the 40k universe is made in such a way that they could theoretically do their own thing with it. It heavily depends on what they do, though. Because, for example, the Astartes short film that was made, which you should 100% go see if you haven't seen it already. The little Astartes short film that was made, the enemy that the Space Marines are fighting, from what I understand, are just a heretical faction of Psychers. And that's not an established faction in 40k, but again, the great thing about 40k is that it's kind of built to have a lot of like fan-made content in it. It's why you see people paint their own chapters of Space Marines and all that stuff. And it's why you see people paint their own interpretations of like the Tyranids or the Orcs or the Tau or the Necrons. Like, it's heavily catered to fan-made content, and it does it really well. So if they do want to go that route, they have to be very fucking careful, because if they fuck with the lore, the already established lore of 40k, then the 40k fanbase is going to light their asses on fire. So, yeah, right now Cavill's he's currently in like this clash with the writers over what exactly should be done for this 40k series. And I hope that we get something really good out of it. I said the team didn't want to use the sources that Amazon told them not to research the games. Well, that's Amazon being fucking dumbasses. And we don't have to talk about the Halo series. I think the Halo series is already. I think the Halo series is already. I mean, it's already ran its course because the show got fucking canceled. So, yeah. But anyway, I do believe that is the rest of it.